Hey, what's up, guys? It's ex-Morgan. Jared is here with me, my husband, and tonight we are going to have some fun. First, I'm just trying to make sure that the streaming is actually going through.
Damn.
Oh my god. And it looks like we are live. Yay! Thanks for joining. I want to say, first of all, a big shout out to two of our most recent Patreon supporters that have joined, and that is Gabby and Larry. Thank you so much for your support. You guys are the best. And let's get into the video today. I am so excited because on the ex-mormon subreddit, I happened upon this post that was, here, I'll go ahead and add it here and show you guys. Tell me you were a TBM without telling me you were a TBM. I swear I'm sober. Anyway, I was perusing it a little bit. Seems hilarious, so I just thought it'd be fun to jump on here and do a live with you guys, enjoying these comments on this subreddit because they are very funny. So let me pull this up here. I love so whoever posted this said, when Percy Jackson came out, I was appalled that my friends and sisters were reading it. To me, reading about other gods and enjoying it was a sin. I also refused to learn about mythology in school. I was 13 at the time.
It's the enjoying it part that's the problem. See, that was my life hack with porn as a Mormon.
Oh my gosh, you just never enjoy it.
Yeah, I could watch porn of like really ugly people.
Oh my god.
Or like porn of just guys because I didn't like guy porn, so
there you go.
It's like, well, at least I can still watch porn as long as I really don't enjoy myself.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Okay, just shout out. I just saw one of our Patreon supporters joined. Thank you so much. One of our new Patreon supporters. Thank you, Larry. Okay, let's see. How do I get back to the... As long as you don't enjoy porn.
Yeah, as long as you don't enjoy it. Percy Jackson, though. I never read those, but like, how can you operate in like modern America if you're constantly trying to avoid like even fictional beliefs that don't line up with yours?
Well, you can,
because like did she
learn about them as long as you don't enjoy them.
Sure, but like did they watch Hercules when they were kids? These people.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like it's everywhere.
Oh, I get it. I get what you're saying. That's a good point. Monica is another Patreon supporter. Thank you, Monica, and I'm so glad you're here because I always love your comments on our lives. Thank you. Okay, let's
Monica's always here.
I know Monica is, I'd say she's my biggest fan, but really I'm her biggest fan. So there you go.
I'm my own biggest fan.
You know, someone's got to be. Punch and cookies were a standard at any get-together. I mean, you can't go wrong with cookies. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, what the hell's wrong with cookies? As long as
you bless them to nourish and strengthen your body, you're going to be fine. Oh, this one's funny. I've been out of the church 14 years, and up until last year, I would consistently catch myself humming some Nephite song under my breath. Some Nephite song? Like,
I assume they just mean
like a primary
hymn
song or something.
I don't know. I still hum hymns because I like hymns.
Like my breathing pattern, if I was super focused or stressed, would be this song, and on occasion it'd switch to popcorn popping. That is funny. Okay, sorry, were you gonna say something?
Oh no.
Whoops. Okay, back to it. Okay. I wrote in my journal about hating myself for being a sinner. That's what you're supposed to do. So
good job.
I hope you still hate yourself, because I think that's what God wants you to do.
Look, man, hate the sin, love the sinner applies to you too. Love yourself.
Love yourself. Just hate all of your actions. Hate all of your hate, unless you're watching porn and not enjoying it, then you can love yourself still.
Yeah. I'll teach you the right way to watch porn. that's a different channel.
Oh no! Oh no! I went to before school church in high school, seminary. Yep, good times.
See, I didn't. I was way more Mormon because it was just at my school.
Oh my god, that's so unfair. I had wished so bad that it could be. No, it was terrible.
Yeah, but I also ate up an elective.
Yeah,
so
but like, what
sucks.
else were you gonna do?
I don't know, something fun.
I don't think you would have seen anything in high school as fun. You didn't.
I liked band class.
Jared didn't. Let's see how do we vote. Jared didn't apply himself in high school. Like he's one of those kids that graduated because everybody graduates.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to.
He was too cool for school. Too cool.
In my defense, most people are too cool for school.
I wasn't. I was a nerd. I was too school for cool. Okay, all right. Do you want to read a call?
All right, what do we got?
It's the ones on the far left that are like the.
Yeah. As a child, I was told not to swear, but I thought that also meant the swear/promise definition. Told many people if I could swear, I would. As a 7-year-old, must have been intimidating.
I remember.
And I thought that too. Like, I didn't take it super serious, but like, I didn't understand synonyms when I was that young. They're not synonyms. What am I looking for? Homonyms. Are they homonyms? Whatever.
Whatever.
I didn't understand that some words had multiple meanings.
Right.
And so it's swear. I remember it being confusing for me for a little while. I swear, when I remember thinking maybe that was a bad thing.
You should not swear.
Don't, swearing's bad. Okay. Monica, I thought dummy was a swear word. We had like swear words that they weren't swear. We had very specific swear words. It was a list. It was. I guess I can't say them. I don't want to get your video messed up. But
no, it's not monetized.
It was like damn, hell, bitch, fuck, shit.
Yeah, and definitely even, not monetized now.
And even bastard were swear words. But
especially hell.
I didn't even it'll definitely screw up if I say the C word, so I won't say it. But that one, I didn't even know it was a bad word.
Oh yeah.
Because it wasn't on my list of, swear words. So when I heard it in a movie one time, everybody in the theater was like, ah! And I was like, what are they freaking out about?
Dude, I still remember that one time your sister got on to me for saying hell when she swears. Like she would say, like I was Mormon at the time, she was Mormon, but she would say actual swear words, and I'd be like, hell is that's one of the weird things. I don't know how you escaped from that. Like you were way more Mormon than I was, and you didn't think hell was a swear word. No, I did until I got kind of edgy.
Wow. That was edgy.
That was edgy.
That was like a month after you got sad when I was watching South Park.
It was edgy. Oh, go ahead. Tell the story. Tell the Grand Theft Auto story. I know you're gonna say it.
Oh, the Grand Theft Auto story. That's not even a you thing. That's just
wait, sorry. HE double hockey sticks?
No, HE double hockey sticks was a real thing, especially in Rexburg. You couldn't, because Rexburg, 98% Mormon. You couldn't, it was considered swearing to even spell the word. So I didn't know. It took me a long time to gather the list of swear words too, because I didn't know them. Because they'd be like, he said the H word. What is it? It's like, well, I can't say it. Like, you can't even say it to tell me. They're like, no, you can't. Well, can you spell it? Like, no, that's just as bad as saying it. So we settled on you could say HE double hockey sticks.
Right.
Or if they're like, he said the G word, like saying, oh my God. You couldn't spell it. You had to say dog spelled backwards.
Oh my God.
I'm not even kidding.
Oh you had all these tricks.
But we didn't have a trick for like the F word.
My God.
So I didn't know what the F word was until I was in like middle school, I think. I don't know. And so I thought it was like, maybe it was fetch or frick or I had no idea.
Those
So
are
I just
swear words for some Mormons. Like you don't say those either.
sure, but I avoided saying them because like there were so many F words that I tried to not say because I was like, what if I accidentally
Say
guess?
that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Ah, fudge.
Oh my gosh.
Jared, you said the F word.
Oh man.
No, the Grand Theft Auto story was just you. I was playing Grand Theft Auto one time. Morgan loved watching Grand Theft Auto, and then she would like, I would plow through like a million people, just mow people down on that game in like a dump truck or something, and she'd be like, "Ha." And her and my sister were watching me play it, and then I stopped as the cops were chasing me. I blasted a cow in the face with a shotgun, and they were like, "No, don't do that."
Oh
What are
my
you
gosh.
talking about? You just watched me
You
cranium
don't
1,000
understand.
people.
People are evil, Jared. Cows are
Okay, anti-natalist here.
Okay, I just want to point out that my favorite thing to do in Grand Theft Auto is to snipe people in the butthole, and that's all I have to say about
Oh,
that.
that one. That Grand Theft Auto story. Okay, that's what you meant.
No, that I was talking about the cussing one. This one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The one where
we have too many Grand Theft Auto stories. We gotta keep going.
the one where Morgan decided she was the butthole sniper, so she stood on a water tower and started sniping people in the butthole. And then she sniped one dude in the butthole, and he's like, "Ah, fuck!" And she turns to me, she's like, "Can you turn that down? I don't like the swearing."
Oh. I mean, I was justified in shooting him. He was a guy that swore. All right.
After he got shot in the butthole, I feel like even Mormons would be like, okay, he was justified. Except maybe your grandma. She'd be like, "Why did you say the F word?" "Grandma, I got paralyzed by a sniper." Okay, but that's no excuse.
I was the butthole killer. All right. Monica said, just have someone stomp on your foot and it'll come to you naturally, even if you've never heard it.
She might be right. Yeah.
It's just like you're biologically inclined. Shoot a guy up Main Street and then get offended that he swears. For anyone who just joined, I'm talking about Grand Theft Auto. I've never shot anyone. Okay, here we go. All right. Every nativity set in our home had the angel's wings cut off or broken off, or we could use it. That sounds like, I don't know if that's just like, is there a lot of kids breaking them? I'm not sure what the.
Well, I think it's probably angels never really have wings in Mormon art or anything like that.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And I might be misrepresenting here. I don't really know, but I think in a lot of different forms of Christianity, angels are like a different race almost than humans. Like it's not like when you die you become an angel. It's a different rank or something. I don't know.
Well, that is really interesting.
So that's more mainstream Christianity. It's kind of like how Mormons get uncomfortable with Christian rock for reasons other than the fact that it just sucks.
Oh my god. All right. For 20 years, I believed that I had a sexual addiction because that was what all my leaders told me, yet none of them had any actual training in sex therapy or anything like that. True that.
Oh yeah, that's sex addiction in Mormonism, is that you just want like to procreate.
Porn addiction, they like, Mormons always harp on like porn addiction. It's like, you have a porn addiction if you watch porn. There are people that have legit porn addictions, and they're not the 13-year-old boys that Mormonism is saying that they are. Okay. I was proud of myself for refusing to go to the movies with my high school boyfriend and his family when I found out it was rated R. What is
Edited to add.
Oh yeah. A song I really like says, "Oh my God," in the lyrics, and to this day I don't sing along with that line because I've programmed my brain that line just doesn't exist. Good job. One Diet Coked up.
You used to expect me to turn the volume down on which was difficult because I listen to a lot of Modest Mouse and they say swear words a lot.
They do say the swear words. All right, that's ironic. Oh wait, That's ironic since LDS is all about believing in multiple gods. Is this supposed to be like a response?
That's a response to the Percy Jackson thing. That's the original post.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I asked a girl to marry me 2 weeks after meeting her, and she said yes. We were still in high school, and we wanted to get married so we could have sex. I want to know if they got married or if they got divorced. I want more.
Did you bang?
Did you get to have sex? Let's see. When I was 8, I was chatting with my friends. I wanted to appear cool, so I said something sucked, and I immediately went to the bathroom and cried.
Yeah. I think I thought suck was a bad word for a while. I don't know. My mom like just sporadically changed what words we were allowed to say. It's like this week we're not allowed to say shut up.
Yeah, I don't know. My mom just kind of got like a little bit more lax over time. Coffee drinking is not a sin, said I love Modest Mouse.
Hell yeah.
Also, I don't know if you know this, but coffee drinking is a sin, so you might need to change your name.
So is whiskey drinking. It was always the part in Satellite Skin where he says happy fucking congratulations, and I remember that. He always wanted it.
Oh, I would. Yeah, well, I was trying to save your ears from.
Maybe next time.
Maybe. The day I was baptized at 8 years old, my dad asked if I thanked the sisters for the song they sang. I was extremely shy as a kid, so I didn't go tell them thanks, but lied to my dad. I had just washed away my sins and immediately sinned by lying, so I always thought I was going to hell. It's heck. Oh my gosh, now you're going to hell for saying hell. I mean, you're going to heck. Oh, damn. We're all going to hell.
She's going to heck for saying HE double hockey sticks.
We're literally fucked. All right. Oh, the fundamentalist Mormons drink coffee. Well,
that's probably because the word of wisdom was just a suggestion.
That's probably because they're sinners. So, I don't know.
I think fundamentalist Mormons deserve some whiskey, honestly.
Oh my gosh.
I would need some.
They deserve some freedom. If people don't know what the fundamentalists are, it's like a branch off of Mormonism. And like, as far as I know, they still practice polygamy, and I don't know, they haven't progressed like as Mormonism's progressed a lot over the years. Like, it's gotten more progressive. It's still not, the most progressive religion, but it's gotten more progressive over time. The fundamentalists are kind of still stuck back in the 1800s, I think. But they can drink coffee. So if you want coffee, maybe consider polygamy. I told people you can live your life however you want, but don't come crawling back to me in the afterlife. I don't want to tell you I told you so. They can't come crawling back up to you. They can't go up into the better heaven. Okay.
You were an asshole.
Mormon heaven. You got 3 different sections, okay? 3 different divisions of where you get divided into. There's the best heaven, then there's the medium heaven, and then there's the shitty heaven. And supposedly there's kind of all this like talk, like it's not doctrine, I don't know for sure, but of like people above you can come down and visit you in your lowly state, but you can't go up and visit them. So it's funny because they couldn't even go crawling back to you because they could not, whatever. So that's really funny. I once rejected a cup of warm coffee on a rainy afternoon from a female classmate in college. Needless to say, she pretty much stopped talking to me after that.
Well, she was an ass.
That's
like
she was a foul temptress.
No, she's an ass. That's like if somebody looked hungry and I like, here, I have a ham sandwich. They're like, no, thank you. I'm Muslim. I don't eat ham. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm never talking to you again. Like, why didn't you break your closely held religious beliefs for courtesy's sake?
Yeah, more people need to not do that. So
yeah.
Wouldn't play a Harry Potter board game with friends because my mother says it's priestcraft. Then later started reading all the Harry Potter book series and got my mom to read them as well. So not only did you start sinning yourself, but then you introduced your mother to priestcraft.
Yeah, it sounds like your mom just had one of those phases. where she's like,
Those priestcraft phases. No, I'm just kidding.
no, it's my mom had phases where like she got really into it, and then other phases where she's like, fetch this nonsense.
Yeah, I hear you. Members who make sure you can sort of see that they are wearing garments. You know, like sheer shirts or short shirts with garments hanging out. Oh, your religion is showing. It's funny.
I don't know. Those guys are the bad guys. My dad got in trouble right when he got back from his mission because one of his ward members turned him into the bishop for wearing shorts that came up a little bit while he was playing basketball, and his garments were showing.
Wow.
I know. Oh, so
Wow.
those guys are.
Can you imagine being that person though that like called the bishop and was like, "Hey, I have something to tell you."
Yeah, how miserable would you have to be?
Like, oh.
I always picture Randall from Recess, that kid that's just sniveling and like writing it down in his notebook, like takes like legitimate satisfaction that he's about to bust you.
Gosh, that's terrible. Tiny cubes of white bread and equally tiny cups of water all laid out in trays.
Tiny cubes. Did you make it into a cube? Because that's what I used to do when I was a kid. I'd smush the bread and I'd make it into a cube.
Oh my god, I'm having like flashbacks now. Oh boy, let's see. I have the power of God with the Mel
sucked my dick priesthood.
Oh, Melchizedek.
Swing and a miss, man.
That was funny. That was a little bit funny. Melchizedek priesthood. Okay. Percy Jackson was my favorite. Let's see. I still haven't seen SpongeBob. No.
Oh hell, SpongeBob.
I had my aunts would not let their kids watch SpongeBob because of religious reasons. I don't remember what the reasons were, but I love SpongeBob to this day. I mean, I still just like pretty much love the older episodes because those are the ones I know. But we're a SpongeBob family, so no disrespecting SpongeBob here. Monica, I always tried to grab a piece of bread with no crust because the crust was gross.
Oh hell yeah!
What if it's fast Sunday and this is your only morsel of bread? Better be a middle piece. Do you want to read one? I think we're around here.
This one's not very Mormon. My parents have an upright piano that's probably 100 years old, and no one knows how to play it. Sits there collecting dust in wretched tune and is virtually unplayable, causing anyone who tries to play it attempt in vain.
No, actually, I do think this is Mormon because, yeah, like a lot of Mormons give their kids piano lessons, but there's also a lot of Mormons that buy a piano and intend to give their kids lessons and then don't, and then they don't tune it and they don't take care of it. And it's just decoration.
I guess. I don't know.
Shame on you.
Waste of a piano.
Of your pianos. All right. Go ahead.
That's a.
Oh, did you read that one?
Well, that's a reply.
Oh, my bad. Keep going.
I don't know if you want.
No.
We weren't allowed to say coffee table. What the
I
hell?
saw that up top too. Someone else said he would call it hot chocolate table.
Well, let's see what these say. It says, I was at my mom's house recently and I wanted to warm up some water. I asked my mom where she kept the coffee cups, and she was all huffy. We don't use coffee cups in this house. Okay, so what else do you call them? Because I genuinely can't think of the right word. And she said, well, not coffee cups, they're hot chocolate cups. We had both simultaneously forgotten the word mug. Yeah, that's like you're just adding more. Like you're giving yourself a chore. Hot chocolate cups? That sounds stupid.
I mean, you gotta give yourself chores for the Lord's sake.
Like this guy, when my parents bought a coffee table, I was just a kid, maybe in first or second grade. I remember asking if it was okay that we had a coffee table. I remember thinking that with coffee cakes.
Yeah, like is there real coffee in them? My mother didn't let me say cheese and crackers until I was 15. What is that?
It's probably like some people use it instead of saying like Jesus Christ. It'll be like cheese and I don't know. That can't be it. There's no way. Did they ask about it?
Why?
They said
It's a mystery, guys. We'll never
you
know.
didn't get to say cheese and crackers. That was the closest thing I could think of. But
Cheese is more like cheese and rice.
oh, this is this one right here hits home. I contemplated the merits of stepping in front of a beat truck before I turned 8 years old.
What?
It's just like dying before you turn 8 because it's sinless.
Oh my god.
Well, I thought that. I remember like wait. I never actually. I don't like. I wouldn't have even come close to doing it.
Yeah. Yep. I get it though.
But logically speaking, it
just like
makes
it's a
more
free
sense.
pass to heaven. Like under Mormonism's theology, like that's gonna get dark for a second here, but like strictly under Mormon theology, like it would be better for your kids to die before the age of 8 than for them to live and potentially sin and then forever be punished for that. So think about that while you guys are sipping your coffee right now.
Also, quit sipping coffee.
Disgusting. All right. I thought missionaries were perfect and incapable of making mistakes. Well, that's true of no missionaries, so you're right. My sister went to college and got a cartilage piercing. I sent her general conference talks about why you shouldn't have one. I hope she removed it as a result of your talks.
Did the piercing thing make so little sense to me?
Mm-hmm.
That one's just sort of transparently superficial because
sure,
I understand. Like you could come up with a justification for saying no body modifications, but that means no body modifications.
Right, like why is one not a
and
sin?
if you're a woman, you can get one,
but more
right
than
here.
one is a sin. It doesn't make like it's clearly like doesn't make any sense.
And if you really, the only answer I could possibly get out, other than the same thing with the word of wisdom, where they say, "Oh, it's a test of our obedience," something like that. The only thing I can think of is because it looks nice and professional.
Yeah.
Like guys don't look nice and professional if they have one earring, and women do, but they don't look nice and professional. So it's completely, to me, it seems like it's very superficial.
Just for looks, yeah. I think they think that if we have people with like tattoos and shit, like going around proclaiming to be Mormon, that we're gonna look trashy or something. But ironically, I think that like people are more excited about churches that are like accepting no matter what you look like, because they're like, oh, this is so cool, like this is really like safe space and really progressive. But I think that's probably like a younger mentality. I think like our grandparents are like, no thank you. But I don't know. I once believed God was a polygamist and was cool with it. Also cool with the notion that racism was okay because God was racist. Dead serious. Oh my gosh, that is funny.
That's weird.
Well, I don't know if I have anything to say.
Is God racist?
I mean, he put a curse of black skin on the Lamanites, right?
I guess you could just say they're wrong about it.
Yeah, but if they're not wrong about it, then it seems like God's kind of racist.
Yeah, I guess.
Here, I'm gonna scroll up higher to get some of the better ones in too before we run out of time. Okay, I would not even go to Starbucks because the appearance of evil.
Yeah, I hated the appearance of evil argument.
Because
it requires you to give nobody any benefit of the doubt at all.
Well, it also requires you to start making rules up, because it could be like, well, I shouldn't drink Coke because that might look like I'm drinking coffee because it's brown, like coffee, and I wouldn't want anyone to think I was drinking coffee. So like you have to start like making up your own rules at that point to avoid the appearance of evil.
Well, it's the whole benefit of the doubt thing. Like if I don't know, I had somebody on my mission because we had that rule, no drinking Coke, because some people think that it's against the rules. So when they see you drink Coke, they think you're disobeying the rules, and therefore we're trying to avoid the appearance of evil. So if and I was like, that's stupid. I'll just tell them it's not against the rules. And my zone leader explained it to me like, well, what would you say if you saw your bishop walking into a Starbucks? And I was like, I would assume, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and assume he is there to buy one of the various things that is not against his religion. Okay? And if he is, it's none of my business, but like,
hey Bishop, that's a nice hot chocolate you're drinking over there.
I really hope that's not chocolate, Bishop.
Hey.
You just appeared evil.
Don't mind me, I'm just taking a picture for the stake president.
Avoid the appearance. What a joke.
I tend to listen to music before bed. I used to stay up on Sunday a little bit past midnight so I could actually listen to the music I like. While the clock said it was Sunday, I could only listen to church music. Dude, I remember on Sundays, like, we weren't allowed to play, like, violent video games, like Halo and stuff like that. And so, yeah, like, literally be like, we wait up till midnight to play Halo. And I loved Halo, still do, but...
Video games where you put your life on the line to heroically save the world from an alien invasion.
Well, it's just funny to me that it's like how something could be a sin on Sunday, but not like immediately after. And it was funny too because we'd have all these like funny justifications about it, where it was like if we had a friend over, it'd be like, "Well, like we have a friend over, so I mean, whatever." Also, my first time looking into coffee, I used incognito mode to look at prices online. It took myself a while to internalize that for the vast majority of adults that this was not a scandalous search.
Yeah, Morgan doesn't even use incognito to look up porn anymore.
Not anymore. Don't check my search history, guys. Just give me flashbacks to Sunday school. Let's see. I know a variety of birthday songs besides the classic "Happy Birthday." Okay, that's in
the spirit of "Tell me you were Mormon without telling me you were Mormon."
Yes, yeah. A lot of these comments are not, but that is it. Oh boy, I considered removing my penis to make sure I wouldn't keep masturbating.
Yeah.
That would probably stop that.
That'd do the trick.
That would do the trick. And I mean, I think that maybe we should advertise that. Oh, I just realized I haven't been sharing. Maybe someone should advertise that. Free ticket to heaven. All you have to do is pay me to cut your wiener off, and then you will go straight to heaven because you can never masturbate. Okay, I refused to watch iCarly because they would use the Lord's name in vain. My mom wouldn't let us watch that either. For probably that reason. I can't remember if she said that specifically. We watched the Super Bowl on Monday instead of Sunday.
Oh, damn.
That's actually kind of funny.
Oh, God.
Go ahead.
Couldn't listen to orchestral soundtracks to movies that were rated PG or higher.
Oh.
Schindler's List, Gladiator, Titanic, Last of the Mohicans, etc. Buying them meant supporting the sinful movie agenda. Also, what if someone came by and saw the soundtrack lying out somewhere and assumed you bought it because you watched Sinful movie? Appearance of Evil. There we go.
Yeah.
Sinful movie. Yeah, that guy points out. So no Lord of the Rings, huh? That's rough. Yeah, that's one of the dumbest. Like, Mormons are really bad with art. They don't quite understand that.
That's true.
Like, some things need to be rated R because some reality is unpleasant. And if the Book of Mormon were made into a movie, it would be rated R. Like, if it actually showed the things. And it's not even me dogging on the Book of Mormon. Like, it has stories of, like, heroism and triumph or whatever, but those are rated R stories because there's violence. I was just talking about Halo. You kill aliens in Halo. You see people die, terrible deaths in Halo, but it's a story of a hero's journey. So, yeah, Lord of the Rings. That's a sinful movie.
Which kind of struck a chord with Jared because he has quite the boner for Lord of the Rings.
I have a very appropriate boner for Lord of the Rings. It's the rest of the world that doesn't have enough of a boner for Lord of the Rings.
I could concur with that. That's fine. Once at age 14, I accidentally knocked over my teacher's coffee and spilled it all over myself, and I almost started crying because it was not because it was hot. Oh, not because it was hot, because it stained my clothes and your soul.
Yeah. God. That would seep through your clothes.
The sin.
Yeah.
When I go to social events, I don't eat snacks. I eat refreshments. That's really funny. I've never ever thought of that till just now reading that comment. I've never thought about
Bless the refreshments.
Yeah, that's actually really funny. I'd answer an offer for a cup of coffee or an alcohol by saying, I don't drink. So the answer would be no. Instead of just saying no thanks. Or I'm going to stick with seltzer. I don't drink. Imagine saying that with coffee. It would really confuse. It really
It'd be
confuses
weird with coffee.
people. Well, and like a lot of people that grew up Mormon, they grew up around so many other Mormons. But that was not the case for me because I grew up in St. Louis. And so like I was used to like how coffee was normal for most people and like, you know, stuff like that. And so it would really weird out normal people hearing you say I don't drink. If they offered you coffee, they'd be like, it's non-alcoholic.
It's not Irish coffee.
Dumb. You dummy.
Ooh.
What?
You said a swear.
I did say a swear. I'm sorry, Monica. All right. I accidentally said, oh my God, as a child, and I felt horrible.
Hey.
Oh my God. To reverse my great sin, I immediately started repeating, oh my Satan, oh my Satan. I think it worked. And just to point out, even funnier, this person's title is Telestial Hopeful. What do you call it? Tag their name, whatever, username. Oh my God, that is my favorite so far. Oh my Satan, oh my Satan. Oh my God, if you said that in front of your family, like your Mormon family, imagine just how terrified they would be. If you just like, you drop something and it breaks and you're like, oh my Satan. They'd be so scared. Let's see.
Those people are talking about coffee cake.
To this day, my wife teases me because I insisted we had a hot chocolate table and not a hot coffee. Oh, sorry. I can't read, guys.
Not a coffee table.
Not a coffee table in the front room.
Look at that. Reminds me of my family's enduring love for breakfast cake. There's the answer to my coffee cake question. Which reminds me of Better Than Heaven cake. Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
Yeah, instead of Better Than Sex cake.
Yes. Oh my gosh. At a, what do you call it? You know, the fundraisers they do for like young women's, young men's. Someone made a Better Than Sex cake. And like just left it called that.
Awesome.
And I was just horrified. I was like 15 or something. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I confessed to my bishop that I had coffee cake, but I thought it was chocolate cake. I got my temple recommend now. How dare you? That's so funny. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, we're getting back up to the top. Oh, sorry, guys. Let's see.
You click on the line.
How do I do that? Oh.
There you go.
Wait, no, that did not work.
Well.
Okay. I Googled evolution incognito mode at 10 years old. Oh man. Oh damn, you won. This is kind of adorable.
It's pretty adorable.
That is adorable. That is super adorable.
I didn't have the weirdness around evolution. I don't know. My parents didn't try to hide it from me, I guess. It's not like they told me about it or anything, but they didn't warn me against it. So when my teacher was like, "You came from a monkey that butt fucked a squirrel," I was like, that makes sense.
Well, I was taught
It's
evolution.
a South Park joke. I don't
Yeah.
think that's what evolution is.
Yes, yeah. We just watched that episode the other day. Hilarious. So funny. But no, growing up in St. Louis, like I never weird backstory, but like I had a friend, a really like my best friend, Stephanie was her name. We were like best friends through high school and part of middle school, and we're still friends to this day. And as soon as I told her I left Mormonism, she was like, "What's your opinion on evolution?" And I was like, I always believed in that. I just like, and I don't know why I guess she just assumed I didn't, because a lot of Mormons don't. But we had never really talked about it. But because I grew up in St. Louis, like I learned evolution in school, and like I just like in my mind I was just like, oh, like I don't know, Adam and Eve just like were part of that somehow, or I don't remember how but it just
It's one
like
of those
I
things
just
that
kind
I
of
always just kind of ignored it rather than tried to reconcile.
I probably did just ignore it. I was just like, oh yeah, it's proven, and also Adam and Eve were real, so just whatever. I don't know. So I don't need to understand. I just need to read my scriptures more.
That question is not vital to your salvation.
Yeah. Okay, so I scrolled back down because we got through that faster than I thought, but I'm trying to remember where we left off.
We're past that. Way past that.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, you're scrolling up.
Wait, so we got to the top, so
yeah,
I
I
went
know.
back
So you
down.
gotta go way down.
I did go way down.
Yeah, we've read these.
Okay, then we have to keep going up because I started at the bottom, and then I went to the top.
Oh, okay.
Now I missed to the middle.
Ah, that's the way to do it.
I asked friends to not swear around me, even though swearing never bothered me.
Huh. I think it did bother you then. I don't know.
It's like a virtue signal.
Yeah, maybe he's just trying to look good or something like that. I don't know.
It's funny. I remember like I wouldn't swear. My friends, they started wearing rubber bands around their wrists, and they were like, I was allowed to snap them if they swore, and I didn't implement that. They like implemented it for me because they wanted to try to stop swearing. And I was the only one allowed to snap it because I was the only one that didn't cuss in my friend group. But swearing didn't bother. I mean, I guess like it bothered me a little bit, but like not to the extent that I would ever say anything about it. I would never give anyone a hard time for it or anything. Okay, somehow I felt fine saying damn it, but I couldn't tack God onto the front of it. So I said gosh damn it instead. Gosh damn it.
Gosh damn it is my favorite Mormon swear. That's a lot of guys at work use it because they'll say every swear
mother
word.
fricker.
No, they'll say fuck and stuff like that. They'll say something like gosh fucking damn it.
Gosh, that is so strange. I mean, like, kudos, I guess. Kudos. Thank you. Coffee drinking is not a sin for your $5. Super appreciate it. Even though coffee drinking is a sin, we forgive you because that was very kind. All right. Let's see. And hello. Okay, still going here. I let others decide what underwear I wore.
Yep. That's not true. You can choose between 3 different vibrant materials.
So, for anyone that might not be Mormon watching, Mormons, they wear the garments. It's like this special underwear that they wear under their clothes, and it's supposed to be like kind of like endowed with special like gifts for you. Like it's very
They're bulletproof.
Like, it's a spiritual. It's like a spiritual thing, and yeah, there you get all these like stories about the garments, like that people will how do you explain it? Like they will.
So there's no doctrine that states any of this, but people will tell stories.
There is doctrine that says that they will protect you from
But
Satan.
it's not like they're
But not that
they're not literally
will...
bulletproof. They're not supposed to be. But there are people that have told stories in the past where it's like somebody died in a house fire, and it's like, and then when they recovered his corpse, he was only burnt in the places where he wasn't wearing garments, which it always makes me think of that part at the end of Dumb and Dumber where they put a bulletproof vest on Lloyd or on Harry, and he gets shot, and so
what if they shot me in the face?
yeah, he goes, what if they shot my face?
That was a risk
like
we were willing to take.
Yeah, I feel like that's what you say to God. Like, oh man, I got flamethrower to the torso. Thank God. Like, wait a minute. What if they flamethrowered my face? And God's like, well, they didn't.
It's just so funny to me too, because like the stories were so crazy. Like, yeah, like where a bullet didn't go through the garments. Like just these kind of crazy stories that you would hear. And then you just think like kind of shitty of God to not make those like a full body thing, you know, like because maybe that guy in the fire would have died.
Maybe that's our fault though, because if we know that this stuff is fireproof, we should just always be wearing a full body.
Just buy extra garments and like sew them into like long sleeves.
Yeah.
And like a pullover.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
We can't blame God for that. He gave us bulletproof and fireproof material, and we didn't put it on all the vital parts of us.
This is an untapped market. We need to open a garment store and a cutting off your wiener store.
Oh God.
If you weren't here for that earlier, someone in the subreddit said that they thought about cutting their junk off because then they couldn't masturbate, so they wouldn't go to hell. So we could save so many souls while making so much money. That would be epic. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Let's see. I got married 5.5 months after meeting her. It was nearly 4.5 months, but we decided to be patient. Wait, is this a response?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's us.
Yes. Maybe we need to go back to the ankle to collarbone long underwear style garments so we are fireproof and bulletproof.
Yeah, but your head.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, hopefully it's better than nothing. It would be better than nothing. Thank you.
I'm gonna shoot that material into my nostrils and coat my lungs with it so that I don't suffocate.
Gonna
in a house
sniff
fire.
it.
Yeah.
We should get it grinded up into like a powder so you can. Oh God, this video is weirder than I thought it was gonna be.
Right. Talking about mainlining garments.
All
right.
Let's start a Kickstarter, guys. The Mormons don't have to know that it's a bunch of ex-Mormons funding it, though. Okay. All right. In my world civilizations class, I made a comment about how almost no Christian sects actually had Jesus Christ in the name, just so I could feel good about myself.
Yeah, well,
good for you.
They do.
I mean, no one even uses the full name, so does it really count? I don't know. Sounds like a victory for Satan to me. Cheers to that. I jumped on the train and said we were polytheistic since we believed in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Yeah, some people kind of argue that Mormons are polytheistic because their view of the Trinity is that God and the Holy
Well,
Ghost and Jesus are
a
separate.
lot of people say they're polytheistic because they
Because they
believe
believe
everybody
in
could become gods.
well that and
Which
also they believe in Heavenly Mother.
they always respond to that by saying, well, we only worship one God.
So
Just embrace your polytheism.
they don't like being called polytheists because I think to them it feels like it makes them not Christian or something or
Yeah,
not like
Mormonism has spent the
normal.
last 100 years
Trying to be more
become
Christian.
mainstream Christian.
Yeah, trying to become it. Yeah. Jesus wants me for a son. Beam.
It says bean.
Oh, what is that? A sunbeam? I don't
I think
know.
it's just a misinterpretation.
Oh, I see. Okay. A guy I went out with told me that he couldn't date me anymore because just being just being around me triggered his porn addiction. He hadn't seen me in so much as a tank top, and we had only held hands. F you, Kevin. You know, it's just like
In defense of Kevin.
being around you made him horny, and making him horny, he probably associated with porn. So, I don't know, maybe you shouldn't have worn a tank top.
Oh, she said he hadn't seen her in a tank top.
Maybe you should have worn full armored clothes.
That won't do it. That won't do it. Like I would have I got I mean, I remember being in high school. Girls were hot and they could wear a turtleneck and I'd still be like, she's triggering my porn addiction.
Oh, I guess Kevin should have just watched more porn then. Let's see. Coffee drinking is not a sin. Said women can become a goddess, but not a bishop.
Maybe
You know, that does seem like kind of out of order of rank. I have a question for you guys that are watching. Do you think the church will ever change their mind about women in leadership roles? I wonder that sometimes.
I'm starting to think they probably will at some point.
I'm starting to think they're going to have to.
I think they'll be basically unrecognizable
in another 100 years.
They're already another 30 years.
Truly, Mormonism is already unrecognizable from the way that Joseph Smith practiced it, which in itself kind of makes you question, like, wait, if he restored the full gospel, like, why is it so different now in 2020, in 2022, than it was back, in 1830? So, let's see. We'll scream and we'll shout with the
armies of heaven.
Thank you.
There you
Armies of heaven. That's a LDS hymn. Okay. Oh, dude, did you ever have that where your ward would be like try to make you guys stand up during the singing? I always hated that.
Every now and then. It depends on the hymn.
I hated that so much.
Yeah.
Later, like when I started having a faith crisis, I was like, I'm not standing up. I'm fucking sitting down during this song. I don't know why I didn't want to stand up. I was tired.
That's just rebellion. You'd be like, I'm not gonna fold my arms or say amen during the prayer.
I'm not gonna close my eyes. Oh my god,
they're gonna be so mad at me.
You know what's funny is we went to church a couple weeks ago because I was playing violin with my friends, and one of them is Mormon, and she had us play with her at her church, which I actually had a lot of fun doing. And we were playing violin at church, and I haven't been to church in a while, but it went well. And I kept my eyes open during the prayer because I was like, no, I'm just kidding. I just didn't care, And it was the weirdest thing because I don't think I've ever really done that since I was a kid. And I remember when I was a kid at church, I'd kind of like peek around, but I was like sitting there with my eyes open, and like there was someone in the bishopric that was just like looking around at everybody, and I was like, this is weird. Like from the stand, like he was just like looking at everyone, like almost like as if he was like trying to see who was praying or something. But I doubt that's probably what he was doing because it just seems like so pointless. But I don't know. I just thought it was weird. Let's see. Here we got a couple comments. Let's see. Okay. Oh, about the women in leadership. Let's see. No leadership for women in the future, but the church will fade into nothing because of it and other problems. Well, that's what makes me wonder, because I think that there's going to be this threshold where Mormonism is going to continue to hemorrhage members unless they become more progressive, like more accepting of, homosexuality and things like that, and like women having the priesthood and being leaders and stuff. And if they don't turn that corner, I think what's going to end up happening is that they hemorrhage like so many members that they have a hard time staying afloat. So I think that eventually they are going to have to. And I think especially like when people like in our generation get up to the tippy top, like they're going to change a lot. But I don't
Yeah.
know. It's possible that they could just kind of keep staying stuck in their ways and just kind of fade into the background. I don't think they'll ever totally die out though. I think it will just kind of keep morphing over time until the sun blows up. All right. I think they will change it. Our LDS lost half the membership when they gave more roles to women.
They,
Whoa.
yeah, so.
Wait, do you know anything about that? That's another LDS branch off for those who don't know.
So if I remember correctly, they're now called the Community of Christ. They have, I think they've lost quite a bit of membership. They still have a decent community. I think the problem is maintaining the balance between the new Mormons and the old Mormons, basically, because there's a lot of,
Yes, you're gonna piss off the old Mormons if you make a change,
yeah,
but you're
if you
gonna
make it too
lose
quickly,
the.
like
I
if
see.
tomorrow they said women can now have the priesthood, and I mean, that's pretty progressive. So then they'd lose a decent chunk. If they said today, like, gay people can be married in the temple, they would lose a ton of their membership, I think. So they got to play this game of trying to balance those two. And
That makes sense. I think like if I was in the leadership, like my brain would want to go to like what's the best to sustain the church over time, and it would be trying to appease the younger people, because if all the young people leave, then you don't have anyone breeding little Mormons for you anymore. So, but I don't think that the leadership necessarily looks at it through that lens. Um let's see. Clara said, looking at the Catholic Church, I have a little hope.
I have little hope.
I totally changed the meaning of that comment. My apologies. I am not like good at reading under pressure. Women will wear pants and hold the priesthood.
Blasphemy.
Keep those pants away from the ladies. Just in case people don't know, Mormons women are allowed to wear pants, but it's like you're not supposed to wear it at church or to the temple or places like that. But it's not like stated anywhere. It's just like a cultural rule.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Technology. The modern LDS do claim women have the priesthood, just not leadership positions. Oh, like technically. Yeah. I was like that. Yes, yeah, they do
Kind
preach
of
that.
in like
They're preaching that hardcore now more than ever because they want it to appear fair. And so they talk about how women get the priesthood in the temple, and it's just not. It's not applied in the same way, because like they don't have the priesthood in the sense that they could give their sick child a blessing from the Lord. Which, if you don't know what that is, it's like a special prayer that they, basically like saying things like, be healed and stuff like that. Anyway, women aren't allowed to do that. Only men are allowed to do that. And so like they say women have the priesthood, that they get to use the priesthood in the temple, but it doesn't really make sense, because it's like, okay, they have the priesthood, but they're not allowed to use it. So it's like they don't really have the priesthood. That's kind of the way that I see that. When women received the endowment, I was informed they received the priesthood at the same time. So yeah, that's kind of what I was just saying. Is that's what they say.
I mean, like,
well, I think also it's more like they tell you that women get the priesthood when they are temple workers.
It's kind of like they can. It's not the same thing though. They don't get endowed with the priesthood. Because it's not like they can leave the temple and then go give blessings or whatever, or do priesthood duties.
Right.
They're really vague about it, because that I always pictured it as them trying to maintain that balance that I was just talking about. Because some people, the like more progressive Mormons, will try to say things like women have the priesthood in the temple, and the more conservative Mormons will be like, wow, they're calling upon the priesthood of the men around them in the temple, or something like that. And the leadership just wants both of them to be satisfied with that, so they don't really comment on it, as far as I know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff lately where they're like, women do have the priesthood in the temple. I don't know. Rev Bone 450 said thoughts on the AP article about sexual abuse.
I haven't read it.
That is?
I
I haven't even heard of it.
I saw the church did a response to it, but I haven't read the article or the response.
Can you explain what it is for people who don't know?
I don't know what it is, really.
Okay, I don't either. Well, someone explain in the comments, because I don't know what that is. All right, let's see. We'll probably get a few more here we can read. I feel like making and eating funeral potatoes counts, but I'm not sure. I love funeral potatoes. It may be the only reason I go to extended family funerals in Mordor.
That's you haven't spent a lot of time on ex-mormon Reddit, but that's what they call the middle of like Salt Lake Valley,
Oh, that's funny.
And yes, funeral potatoes are
amazing.
excellent. I love them.
I threw away my Pink CD in 99, 2000, because I got guilt-tripped at church and convinced myself Pink was of the world, even though I liked her voice and how badass she was as a woman. I worried that I was sinning. Jared did a similar thing when he was...
Oh, Christ.
You made fun of me earlier, so now I gotta make fun of you. Jared, for a seminary demonstration, brought his collection of
Simpsons
the
DVDs.
Simpsons DVDs and had everyone break them during the class presentation to prove
I did not. No, I didn't.
Oh, you thought about doing it.
Yeah, I was going to do it. I
forgot. I was
going to be.
Sorry,
when I was a Mormon, it was all about looking good. That's all. I was the most vapid piece of shit, and like I'd have deep thoughts, but I'd never act on them. So they I got all of my 13 seasons of The Simpsons on DVD, put them in my backpack. I was going to give each person in class a DVD to break. And then I was like, you know what? Let's do one last time, like a heroin addict. And I
like how you're about to do this demonstration where you break them and you're like, well, I'll just watch them one more time.
Yep.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
And then I watched my favorite episode and I was like, oh God, I almost broke my DVDs. I like these. And then I didn't do it.
Oh boy. Yep. Well, shame on you. Okay, so about what the AP article is. Basically, the church has a hotline that bishops are supposed to call when they find out about a sexual abuse of a person of underage. The church often tells bishops not to report it to the police. A young girl endured 6 years of abuse after a priesthood holder admitted to his bishop what he was doing, and the bishop did nothing. And someone responded, I think it's about... okay, they also just trying to explain what it is. Okay. So I am not... I have no idea if this is like verified or not. I don't know if this is speculation or not. I'm assuming the article talks about it. So maybe for those who are watching and are interested, probably go check out the article. But what I will say about this is that I think religion sets a terribly just horrifying precedence. to put children in dangerous situations, because you're taught to trust your priesthood leaders. And not only that, but you're encouraged to meet with them one-on-one. And so I think it's really scary anytime a situation like this happens, because you're just, religions can be, they can do a lot of good, but they can do a lot of harm. And I think the thing that's so scary about it is that people genuinely just assume that if you're involved in their religion, that they can trust you. And that's just not the case. If you've seen my videos about La Luz del Mundo, it's a cult in Mexico, or if you haven't seen them, I guess I should say, that cult leader, his name is Nason Garcia, and he's their apostle, which is like the equivalent to like the Mormon prophet. He just in June pled guilty to several accounts of abusing children. And it's just horrifying that he got away with it for so long. And the reason he got away with it for so long is, again, because you're supposed to trust your priesthood leaders, and it gives them the opportunity to manipulate you under that pretense. That is what I wanted to say about that.
Yeah, I think I don't know enough about the situation. I'll have to read the article. But what I would say about because I've heard a lot of stories about bishops not turning in abusers to the police. And as far as I can think, that's a shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
And I think what that is a symptom of what is my biggest beef with Mormonism. The worst thing it does to its membership is to constantly teach them not to rock the boat.
Yeah.
To just be, be nice to everyone, or they deify niceness as if it's the best thing you can be is nice. And so that bishop, when somebody comes into his ward, he's only known this guy as a nice guy who hands out candy or whatever, or is, teaches Sunday school and is really kind or whatever. So when he sees this guy and somebody says, this guy's been abusing me for years, the bishop's like, well, okay, but he's like repentant. He's such a nice guy. That's what I call it but he's such a nice guy,
Well, and they take
thing.
take justice into their own hands, because they're like, well, I can divvy out justice from God, so like I don't have to involve the criminal justice system, which is just wrong.
They think that by virtue of being a nice guy, this guy doesn't need justice in the same way that oh, this guy doesn't need justice because you got to get the real, he feels real bad about it, and he promises he won't do it again. And that's probably because, one, they deify niceness, but two, they don't really have experience dealing with abusers. And we kind of think of people who are abusers as they can't be nice guys, but they can. They can absolutely be very nice guys, very normal.
Right, and that doesn't make it okay, right? Or it doesn't. It's not a reason to let.
Well,
it doesn't
make them an exception.
Exactly.
It's not like, oh, he's not like normal abusers. He's nice to people around him. Well, most people are not mean to those around them, really. So him being that's all I can really say, because I haven't read the article.
I am so curious to know if that's really true, because if it is, it's just really horrifying to me.
If what's true?
Just like there was like this hotline that they could call to get advice, and like the advice that was being given was to not turn people into the police. Like, that just scares me. I just don't know if that's true or not, but I guess we'll find out later. Let's see. LF said, remember being interviewed privately by the bishop as a little girl. They now let people have a trusted third person now. There. Yes. People have been advocating for a while now to not have these meetings be one-on-one. And so the church has come out and they've basically said like another person can be present, like a parent or another trusted adult can be present to make like the minor more comfortable. If you don't know what we're talking about, you have to meet with the bishop in order to be approved to go to the temple. Kids start doing this at 12, 14?
12.
And they have to meet with the bishop to conduct a worthiness interview. And if they pass the worthiness interview, then go to the temple. And if they don't, they can't. And this is where a lot of sexual misconduct has happened within the church, because you're getting these leaders, adult men, alone with young boys and young girls. And, you know, it's possible for bad things to take place when that happens. And what I was going to say is that now someone's allowed there. The tricky thing about it is, yes, you can have a parent there if you're willing to confess in front of that parent your sins.
Yeah.
Which that's a tricky situation, because as a teenager, if you feel guilty for watching porn or doing something like that, then you may not want to confess in front of your mom or your dad or another adult. And so you may like be confessing to the bishopric and not want a parent there. And then you could still be taken advantage of. On the flip side, you may not have a choice and your parents have decided that they're going to come, and then you may feel the need to lie to the bishop in order to avoid getting in trouble with your parents. And then you may have to go to the temple feeling terrible about yourself because you knew that you lied in your interview. So although I think it's good progress that they're allowing a parent to be there, it's still an incredibly difficult dynamic that this doesn't really resolve, if that makes sense. So, yeah, when we were talking about, it's my understanding Ted Bundy was extremely charming. Yeah, just because someone is charming does not mean shit. Oh man, they're saying it's like legit in the article. I'm excited to read it later. Okay, Monica, I guess there are no cases of an adult being alone with children. Even all the classes have 2 teachers now. Yes, I have heard that there's no, that it used to be like, so you have like the little Sunday school break off classes, and like the kids go to their classes, adults go to their classes, and it's like broken up by age. And it used to be like you'd have one person taking over the class of the 8-year-olds or whatever. And I've heard now that there's always 2 adults with those classes, which I think is just a great change. Just and like, yeah, I don't think enough can be said about that just being a really good idea. Bishop interviews just made me a really good liar. Yeah, I think that's what it did for a lot of people. And then not only are you lying, but you are feeling guilty. If you're buying into Mormonism, you feel really guilty, which would be rough. Okay. I took Spanish literature class at Texas University. We read a classic and then watched a movie based on the books. Based on the book in class, the movie had nudity, so I walked out. Good for you. I mean, seriously, like I did the same thing as a teen in junior high, and I don't know. I just like it really was like this. At the time, it was very noble, you know, because we were standing up for our beliefs, and then it turned out that our beliefs were shit. So that was rough. Okay, I'm kind of being hyperbolic, but all right. I later told my professor I didn't appreciate her showing movies in the university with nudity. That's how Mormon I was. I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Was it Anna Karenina? Because
I don't know. Maybe.
Because I want to watch that movie after I finish the book, and I was like, I saw that it was rated R when I was looking it up.
Oh boy.
Maybe we'll see some Keira Knightley boobs or something.
Hopefully. It's not a sin if you don't enjoy it, so.
I don't.
Okay, let's just read a couple more here. This has been a really fun discussion. We'll just wrap this up with reading a few more of these guys. Even while on vacation, my parents would find the nearest church to attend. That's so awful. I'm so sorry for you.
We planned on doing that on our honeymoon, but then we were like, fetch that.
Fetch that shiz. We want to do stuff. I never had Coke before.
Damn. That's probably a good thing.
I mean, She's probably been chugging Mountain Dew her whole life, though, so, you know. I'm just kidding. Okay, I once bought a double chocolatey chip frappuccino at Starbucks. Doesn't have any caffeine in it. I was walking around the mall and ran into another Mormon. Literally, the first words out of my mouth was, "This doesn't have coffee and it's caffeine free." Oh my god. She says as if that was the main concern on her mind, but that would have been the main concern on my mind. Oh, a Starbucks cup. What's in that? What's in that? Is it hot chocolate?
Oh, I always thought you were such a good girl.
Wow. Okay, let me just send this picture to the bishop. Gosh. Oh, as a side note, I heard a story the other day where a friend was telling me about, okay, because I posted this video on the video on my Instagram about this bishop story about this gal that, like, her and her boyfriend almost had sex, and then she had to wait a year before she could go on her mission, and he got sent out right away. And someone just terrible, like how you get bishop roulette of like, you know, your punishment's just going to be up to whoever your bishop is. And like if they had the same sin together, why is she punished more than him? Who knows? But someone told me a similar story. But they said, oh, what was it that they said that happened? That, oh yeah, so this girl was dating this guy. They had sex. He felt bad and confessed to his bishop. And then his bishop called her bishop and confessed on behalf of her.
Oh, what a nice guy. She didn't even have to confess. Like, I did it for her.
Oh my god, I was so mad when I heard that, because how awful is that? Like that, like a sin, like resolving a sin should be between you and God, and then like maybe your bishop. Like I don't like that idea, but like, okay, in Mormonism that's just like pretty fundamental. And so then like, oh my gosh, just like for that bishop to call and tattle on a ward member is just horrifying to me. Just absolutely horrifying. Like,
yeah, that's pretty shitty.
That was so awful. Okay. Let's see. Josh said, I was so Mormon, I would repent on my mission for waking up past 6:30. That continued for about a year before I relaxed. Dude, how many times can you repent for that before you're just like tired of repenting for it? Dude, I feel you, man. Like I would repent for weird stuff like that too, and it was so hard because you just carried around so much shame all the time. And just way more than like you should, you know, reasonably be carrying around. And it makes life pretty miserable. And it really, like, I feel like it really like made me hold myself back from like good things in my life because I didn't feel like I deserved them, because I just felt like I was so evil, like at my core, and like all these actions I was doing. It's just sad. Were you going to comment to that?
Nope.
Okay.
I was a shitty missionary, so I didn't do that.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I was pretty good for the first year, but then after that, I was like watching movies and stuff. So,
dude, I remember like hearing you say things about your mission, like when I was super TBM, like after we were married, that I was just like, oh my god, like he was not a good missionary. No. And I remember like it would scare me when I would hear those stories of you like sleeping in and stuff like that, and I was just like, oh.
Yep.
I once made the decision to pay tithing while knowing I didn't have money to buy food for my family. Stupid thing was I got a student aid check from my school refunding some of my tuition, and I thought it was a living miracle. But I filled out the paperwork for the student aid, not God. He had nothing to do with it.
Clearly it was a miracle.
Oh my gosh. Jared, you brought that up to me during my faith crisis of like, because people will do that. They'll say like, oh, yeah, we almost like we chose to pay our tithing first, and then somehow God blessed us with this thing. And it's like, but wait, wasn't that thing going to happen anyway? Like they'll be like, oh, our tax return came in right on time when we needed it. And it's like, this was God blessing us. And I was like, but were you not going to get it if you hadn't paid your tithing?
Yeah.
And this is the thing, is so vague in Mormonism, like what the blessings are you get from paying tithing. Like you don't know what they are. They're different for everybody.
Well, it's vague, but like if you really take all of the stories that you hear, the blessing seems to most consistently be that you can afford the shit. Like,
Yeah.
which you also could have afforded by not paying your tithing.
I think that's one thing that.
So it's like if you get rid of 10% of your money, God will bless you by making sure that you have enough to make ends meet. Or you could just cut out the middleman by not throwing away 10% of your money, and then you'll just have enough to make ends meet.
We can't afford to not pay tithing, Jared.
Oh, shut
up. Okay, I cried when my high school boyfriend said he didn't believe in Joseph Smith. EFY tapes were too secular for Sabbath day listening. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. EFY was like, especially for youth, it was like youth. Like if you're familiar with like youth group stuff, it was like Mormonism's version of that. I know how to make food with 15-year-old wheat, oats, rice, and beans. Oh, we missed one of my favorites. I think we passed it up somehow because I saw it earlier when I was previewing the thread, and it was like my bed was made out of these big tin cans of wheat.
There's a joke on the RM. He comes back from his mission, and his bed is in the storage room.
Yes, on top of all the food storage.
Yeah, which is literally what happened to me when I got back from my mission because my sister took my room.
Mormonism is really big into kind of like preppers, like getting ready for the end of the world, and they always tell you to have food storage, so that's why that's funny. We got a couple comments here I'll read. But if you don't pay your tithing, how are they going to build more temples? With their ass ton of money, probably.
They probably have plenty of money.
Yeah, no, I mean, back in the day, they wouldn't have been able to, but anyway. Did y'all create an I'm a Mormon profile? I sure did after listening to a Fifth Sunday lesson. I totally forgot about that. Was that supposed to be like, was that like a straight up like Mormon like social media thing?
Kind of. It was mostly just a marketing push that I created one because I was on my mission at the time and we were supposed to.
Oh my gosh. I was too young. That is so funny. I remember hearing the blessings are intangible, like that cold didn't turn into pneumonia. Your medical bills were spared because you paid tithing.
Things that you can't prove.
Yeah. I remember kind of hearing stuff like that. LDS dried apples are amazing. Yeah, you get a lot of people that are really into like the freeze drying. What's it called? Whatever. Yeah, drying shit out because then it lasts forever. And other food storage things. They commanded us.
I think he's talking about the I'm a Mormon profile. They might have actually. Monson might have issued a challenge to do that, I bet.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Let's see. I did the I'm a Mormon thing. They said as a black convert, I'd be especially relatable.
Oh man, they're trying to look for diversity, huh?
Ooh, diversity.
Hey, we need to tokenize some of our membership. Would you be willing to do that?
Oh my gosh. I can recite every verse to nearly every hymn in the hymn book, as well as the children's song. Yes, even follow the prophet.
That's impressive.
My oldest child is the 27th grandchild of... Wait. My oldest child is the 27th grandchild of my parents. My fifth is... My youngest is the 55th. Holy
Jesus, that's that was a perfect way to frame it.
That really was. That was perfect. Oh, man. Except for that one time my sisters and I hid our room sipping from a contraband Mountain Dew. I've never had a caffeinated soda. until a couple weeks ago when I had some of my husband's Dr. Pepper cocktail.
Cocktail?
Mmm.
So the first time you have a caffeinated beverage is inside an alcoholic beverage?
Caffeinated beverage. I went onto a Native American reservation at the
behest.
Oh yeah, at the behest of a 15-year-old ass white guys to tell Native.
Not 15-year-old. At the behest of 15 old-ass white guys.
Oh my god, I can't read.
To tell Native Americans they were descendants from Israelites that sailed to America.
You guys, we have a book about you.
Look, some of
we
you
know
guys,
all about you.
Some of you guys engineered like ancient submarines, so you have a proud heritage.
I was so TBM that I was upset about Stephanie Meyer's having her character say the word hell even once. And then someone said, and then the sex, which freaked me out as an ace.
Asexual.
Oh, but obviously then I just thought it was because of my upbringing. Oh, funny. Okay. Wait, are these responses or are these?
Yeah, that's... Had to hide my library copy of Harry Potter and read it in complete darkness because my mother didn't want me to read it because it has witchcraft in it. Damn.
This person was 11 when it came out, which is
like
that
my
how
age.
old Harry Potter was?
Yeah.
So that's good. That's perfect. Whenever I listened to music, a swear word came up, it would give me this sudden intense feeling of anxiety. It was so jarring that I couldn't listen to the song in question anymore because I thought something really terrible was going to happen because what I was listening to at that moment. I almost felt like one of the lemurs in the movie Madagascar after hearing the word fusa, and it would drive me into a borderline panic, just like they did whenever they heard that one particular word. It took me a long while to finally unlearn that behavior, but I'm glad that I did, and I'm finally able to listen to music I actually appreciate regardless of its lyrics. That's really funny. Okay. Let's see. I had a field trip permission slip from the 8th grade social studies to tour a local Sikh temple, so I couldn't go.
You said I hid, not had.
Oh, I hid. Oh, that's funny. All right, I'm fired from reading.
What? What am I missing?
I always pull my underwear up over my right leg first. That's hilarious. Okay, it's funny because like there was that whole stigma of like you have to you have to take the sacrament with your right hand.
I guess.
I think that's what it's about. That's hilarious.
That's
so random. I longed for a double mastectomy at age 11 so I wouldn't have to live with what it felt like to be a disgusting, evil body that would be a temptation to every man around me, and I was an A cup. Oh, dude, that's like so sad. Oh, that's so sad, and it's so relatable. Oh, someone said, "What's a TBM? True believing Mormon?" Yeah, it just means like Molly Mormon, just like someone who's very devout. I once refused to go on another date with a guy because he used the phrase, "Oh my God." I don't know if God exists, and I still can't bring myself to drink a cup of coffee.
Shit, man, that's that's heavy.
Guys, I love coffee so much now. I love it so much, especially because like I'm tired with my kids and stuff. They're so little, and like I love having coffee and love having it with just a little bit of milk and honey, and it's amazing. Wouldn't go to, yeah, okay, so we're back at the top here. Okay, the end. This was so much fun, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for your awesome comments. Yeah, consider joining Patreon. We have some juicy videos over there. There's a lot about my past that I haven't been able to talk about on this channel, and honestly that I've been kind of ashamed to talk about. And because my family wasn't like typical Mormons, they were like kind of their own subcult of Mormonism. And I've been talking about it more on Patreon. I'm hoping that eventually I'll be able to talk about it on the channel too. But there was just a lot of spiritual coercion that happened, and demons taking over people, stuff like that. If you want to hear about it, check out Patreon. I just don't feel ready to talk about it on the public channel yet. But yeah. Okay, coffee is the best part of not being Mormon anymore. True that.
Whiskey's pretty nice.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm glad I cut the live. Monica, I'm glad you cut the live too. Okay. Thank you guys so much. And we will
I
see
think
you.
Monica has like she hit the bell notification, but like in her mind.
Like
yeah, there's some sort
my
of
spiritual life senses are tingling. She always
it's
knows
like,
when we have a live.
Yeah, it's like when
I give her no warning either.
It's like in Star Wars when they blow up the planet and Obi-Wan goes, I heard a cry as if thousands of people cried out at once, and then there was silence.
We love you, Monica. And my fabulous life with Lucas says, you guys are amazing. I love when you guys are together, even better. By the way, I love Morgan's haircut. Thank you. As a side note,
my haircut.
As a side note, one time I got a comment on one of my videos and it was like, what's with the lesbian haircut? And I was just like, what's with the lesbians being the only ones allowed to have cool haircuts?
You appropriating lesbian culture.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh. She said, I think I missed someone where I was working overnight. I kept showing right up at the end. Oh, we love you, Monica. Thank you for your support. You're so sweet. I love it. Okay, all right. Good night, guys. Go to bed.
Bye, everybody.